Kadesh Orchat Kapas Yachat Magid Rachta Maitzi Matzah.
Super exciting time on the Jewish calendar. On Rosh Chodesh Nisan we are today. We're literally 2 weeks before Pesach, and it's such an apt time to prepare for the Chag with some insights into the Haggadah. I was looking at the Haggadah of Rav Yosef Rimon, the renowned posek and Torah teacher from the Gush, and he shares there in his Haggadah an anecdote about Yidden who were in Bergen-Belsen, who were in concentration camp many years ago, and how, unfortunately and tragically, they were forced to eat chametz on Pesach because of pikuach nefesh to save their lives. Their lives were in danger, but yet they still composed a special prayer, a special tefillah, that in essence told HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it pains us and it hurts us, and the last thing we want to do on Pesach is to have to eat chametz. But that's also a mitzvah. That's the mitzvah of the night in the context in which they found themselves. That pikuach nefesh is docha kol Torah kula kimat, except for the 3 cardinal averos, and preserving their life took priority. And I was very touched and moved by this formulation that we always have to appreciate in life, kind of the context in which we find ourselves. Sometimes, usually the mitzvah is, of course, to refrain from chametz and to eat matzah, but sometimes in extraordinary circumstances, a person can be forced to eat on Yom Kippur L'aleinu. There can be circumstances where a person has to adopt or transition. And I think over the last year, in modern contemporary lore, there hasn't been a time like we've experienced with the coronavirus. And many of us have had to adapt and transition and flex and just be different from the way we go about things, the way we go about our lives, to shift in terms of our attitudes, in terms of our expectations. And as we begin to transition away a little bit, we're still in the midst of the coronavirus, but as we begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel, so I think it's important to remind ourselves of this construct. That last year, many of us were very much kind of confined to our homes on Pesach, and we were in a different set of circumstances than we were accustomed to, and we couldn't be with family, etc. And Baruch Hashem, this year, things are looking brighter and things are looking better, and we're able to again, begin to experience life the way we would, the life in the way that we once knew it and experienced it. And it's so important, particularly during Leil HaSeder, to appreciate and to recognize kind of the expansive Jewish history, and how there are times when things have been, terrible and dark for the Yidden, and there are times when it's been a time of light. And that's the concept in the Haggadah, the Matchilin B'Gnusim Mesayim B'Shevach, that we begin with talking about Avodim Hayinu L'Parav Mitzrayim, but ultimately the end of the Haggadah is focused on coming to Eretz Yisrael, and focused on the Gula Asida, and focused on Mashiach, and that which Yidden experienced in the Holocaust, and centuries before that as well, terrible pain and anguish and tragedy, and even what we've experienced can't compare, obviously, but what we've experienced over the last year as well. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's maschilin b'gnusim m'shayim b'shevach, so we can all kind of take stock if we're fortunate to be here and to be celebrating the Chag and to reciting the Magid and the stories of the Haggadah, and to be with family so we can appreciate kind of how far we've come, and to anticipate where we're going. I wish everybody a Chag kosher v'sameach.